By the summer of 1914, Europe hummed with a secret. Beneath the concrete of military bunkers, vacuum tube mainframes glowed green and gold, vast, humming, alive. Engineers had reforged the continent's telegraph wires into something new, a data grid. Copper veins, buried deep, carrying more than Morse code now. When mobilization orders flickered across wooden terminal frames that August, the machines did not hesitate. War, this time, would be logged. In a Sarajevo basement, lit by a single oil lamp and the pale glow of a terminal screen, young radicals worked in silence. The Black Hand had learned to speak the machine's language, punching stolen ciphers into perforated cards, breaching Vienna's encrypted channels one line at a time. What they found was a route, a schedule, a convoy. Franz Ferdinand's fate was no longer a secret. It was data, and data, once leaked, cannot be recalled. The Western Front became something new, a battlefield fought in mud and in code. Soldiers hauled armored terminal units through the trenches, their brass keys frozen with frost. Signal Corps crawled beneath artillery fire, severing copper lines to blind advancing enemies. And in the routing stations behind the wire, primitive floods of false signals, crude, mechanical, merciless, jammed command networks into silence. The front line was digital now. It bled the same. Inside Bletchley Park, gear-driven machines the size of locomotives churned through the night. Britain's cryptanalysts fed miles of encrypted tape into grinding mechanical rotors, hunting for the seams in Germany's ciphers. Progress was slow, brutal, incremental, until a phosphor screen flickered awake with the decoded text of a telegram from Berlin to Mexico. The Zimmermann message. A digital confession, intercepted, unraveled, and about to change everything. In London and Berlin alike, crowds gathered before cast-iron public terminals, their eyes fixed on scrolling bulletins of victory and virtue. This was the first web, crude, text-only, and utterly weaponized. Governments curated the truth one line at a time. Rumors of starvation spread faster than bread lines. Falsified telegraph reports triggered panic in cities that had never seen a soldier. The war for the public mind was already digital, and it was already merciless. French railway guns, monstrous and precise, now aimed themselves. Ballistic computers calculating trajectories no human hand could match. But precision bred vulnerability. Engineers scrambled to build the first firewalls, crude analog barriers meant to stop German intrusions from reaching the gun mechanisms. They failed once. A corrupted logic sequence, a single bad instruction, and an entire battery fired into its own lines. The machine had turned on its makers. Beneath the Atlantic, German U-boats trailed wired sonar arrays, silently mapping Allied shipping lanes through the dark. Spoofed beacon signals lured merchant vessels toward waiting torpedoes, their captains trusting coordinates that were never true. Then came the Lusitania, her encrypted manifest, her precise position, leaked onto the network by hands still unknown. The ship never had a chance. The blockade was no longer just steel. It was code. Russia's empire ran on borrowed technology and dwindling vacuum tubes, its grid decaying faster than its armies could retreat. When replacements failed to arrive, entire cities fell dark, one terminal at a time. Bolshevik revolutionaries seized the moment, hijacking government telegraph lines to broadcast Lenin's manifesto across a crumbling network. In October, the Winter Palace's grid failed for the last time. The lights did not come back on. American troops arrived by the thousands, each unit trailing mechanical logistics trackers that fed data back to Wall Street's newest fortresses, generator-powered server halls, vast and humming, calculating supply chains with ruthless efficiency. The Central Powers, exhausted and starved of parts, could not compete. This was not merely industry against industry. It was a network, fully realized, crushing a rival that had run out of copper, tubes, and time. In a railway carriage at Compiègne, the armistice was signed and instantly logged into a global terminal network, its text scrolling across screens on every front. German command systems, moments later, displayed something else entirely. Allied emblems, stamped across every defaced homepage in a final act of digital conquest. Within years, the League of Nations rose from the wreckage, not only a political body, but the world's first council for governing the network itself.